What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and on the last episode of Who Really Won, which was Dr. Dre versus Eazy-E, I asked you guys to get me to 10,000 followers on Twitter, and currently I'm at 8,400, which is good, but I'm still 1,600 away from the 10,000 follower goal. Once I reach 10,000 followers, I will drop the next 2 episodes of Who Really Won. So with that being said, follow me at QuakeGW on Twitter. I'd really appreciate it, and leave a like on this video because it helps the video gain a lot of momentum and views. So with that being said, let's get into it.
Throwing that flag up, running around, you hot shit. You can't fly without your wings. You out here all by yourself. Ask Steve Jobs, wealth don't buy health.
I don't know where this relationship went wrong. Did it?
I don't know either, bro.
Get out of here.
I swear to God. I love to do something with him. And they were like, nah, you know, you dissing me now.
What was your opinion of Wayne's response?
It was horrible. It was horrible. It was trash.
If he claimed king and he claimed best, then I guess you can call me God.
Normally when I do Who Really Won videos, I like to get all the information into one video as much as possible, but over time I've realized this is the wrong way to go about things, especially if it features a lot of big artists into one battle, and this one does that. As you guys can tell by the video title, this is Lil Wayne versus Pusha T, Who Really Won. But as you guys can also tell, it says part 1 of 2. And it's easy to tell what's going to be part 2 of 2. That's going to be Pusha T versus Drake. And that will drop once I reach those 10,000 followers. But on this episode, I want to focus on how the battle started between Pusha T and Lil Wayne. And on part 2, I'm going to pick up where exactly Drake got involved into this whole thing, because it's a huge mixture of artists. Pusha T's good music with Kanye West, Lil Wayne, Birdman, and Drake with Cash Money. So a lot of people got involved, and it kind of spilled over to different artists that initially didn't even have problems with each other. So this battle really is collateral damage, because over the years, things started spilling off to other artists such as Drake and Kanye West. So on this episode, I'm just going to focus on Pusha T and Lil Wayne's issues and what exactly happened. So if you've seen the previous episode, you guys know how this goes down. I have 4 major points I start with. The first one being how it started, the origins of it, the major points in this whole thing, and then I voice my opinion and I talk about who won the battle portion of this beef, which is the midst of the battle right when it was happening, who was the one winning in terms of the public view, and then I talk about the war portion, which is after everything's settled, who won in the long term. With that being said, grab a drink, grab some popcorn, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Usually in each battle, there is each side of the story and then the truth. If you were to ask Lil Wayne, when did this battle start, or where were the initial root problems, he would say he has no idea. That's exactly what he said when he appeared on Drink Champs podcast earlier this year. Nori ended up asking him where did the problems between him and Pusha T started, and Lil Wayne honestly said he has no idea.
Clipse. And I don't know where this relationship went wrong. Did
I don't either, bro.
Get out of here.
I swear to God.
Who with Clipse? Yeah, specifically Pusha.
Yeah, I swear to God, I don't.
Word.
I don't know. I just found out, like, you know, it was like one of them. You ever see when the athlete get traded and don't know, and he get told during the press conference, and he's like lost. So how do you feel that they trade that Houston just traded you to Kansas City?
My agent.
I was like, man. He was like, yeah, man. You know, what you gonna do? You gonna come back and push? I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, I'd love to do something with him. And they were like, nah, you know, he dissing you now.
If you were to ask Pusha T the same question, he, however, knows exactly where it started, and for him, it started in a 2006 Complex interview with Lil Wayne.
I know there was an interview.
That's it.
I know. Oh, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So it was
That's
an
it.
interview where,
Yeah.
and what did they say? They said, you trying to look like the Clipse?
I guess they said something to him in regards to that.
Right.
And
Who's him, by the way?
Lil Wayne?
Wayne.
Okay.
And so when they said that or whatever, he just answered it in a real condescending way. And I was just like, damn, like, man, it was such a better way to answer that. Like, we rappers, like,
Right.
I don't gotta cut nobody if I don't want to. I don't gotta
Right.
say nothing crazy
Right.
in regards to anybody if I don't want to. I know how to, you know, talk around things, so on
How
and
to
so
finesse
forth.
it.
But here's what I
And the exact Complex magazine that Pusha T is referring to is the issue from December 2006 to January 2007, where Lil Wayne and Travis Barker are covering the issue. And in here, he basically goes off on the Clipse and says he is not trying to be like them. And the way he said it, it seemed like he was really dissing them. So that's where Pusha T feels like it officially started. In the Complex interview, the interviewer who's talking to Lil Wayne mentions that Lil Wayne was wearing Bape on the cover of Vibe magazine, which was released on April of 2006. The interviewer says this. He says, "I guess one thing that you've become known for is being a style trendsetter. You were rocking the Bape on the cover of Vibe. Now it seems like all the rappers are starting to rock Bape. So where are you trying to take it next, fashion-wise?" Lil Wayne says, "I don't really do my thing because you getting interview and stuff saying this about a band and this is the new style, and then people are going to read it and be like, this guy thinks he's a trendsetter. No, you do what you do and you let the motherfuckers do it, and I didn't get in there and say nothing about Bape in that interview, but that's why y'all got it from." And he was like, right, that's how I do it. So what he's basically saying is stop trying to bait me into, you know, saying that I'm a trendsetter for Bape when I never said that in other interviews. And that's what the interviewer is trying to initiate. So Lil Wayne didn't fall for that, but then this is where things got really bad in the interview, and this is where Pusha T feels like Lil Wayne was dissing the Clipse. And the Clipse is a two-member rap group that Pusha T was a part of with his brother Malice. They would rap together in the group called Clipse, and they were releasing an album that year. So the interviewer says, "I'm sure you've heard the Clipse are coming back right now. And one of the things they've been saying is like, yo, all these dudes, now they do the Bape and Coke rap. But before, that was us. We were the ones who started that. How do you feel about that?" To put things into perspective, the Vibe magazine where Lil Wayne's wearing Bape clothing was released on April 2006. Just the following month, on May 23rd, 2006, the Clipse released their debut single off their new album called Mr. Me Too. And in this track, they're talking about people copying their styles. So when they were doing interviews, interviewers were asking them, you know, what does Mr. Me Too mean? And this is exactly what they were saying.
Wanna know the time, better clock us. Niggas bite the style from the shoes to the watches. Who gon' stop us? Not a goddamn one of you. I know, yep, yeah, you too. Okay, everybody meet Mr. Me Too. Never touch us, you hear that?
And we ain't finished, you know. Joe
Never
put
touch
on
us.
here.
Let 'em
We
know.
in the shot, V8.
Never
you know how we
touch
do
us.
it. I just want to know, from me to y'all, we hear another nigga in his rhymes, he and all that. Y'all the first niggas to do that.
Oh,
you
for
know
sure.
what I'm
Push
saying?
it thing
You know,
all
Lil
day.
Wayne, you know, as you jacking niggas swagger up, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
I'm asking y'all, I buy shit, I listen to shit, this the rap world.
Okay.
Do niggas feel like, you know what I'm saying, a man jacking y'all shit or what?
Yo, I hear it. Like I hear shit like that in the streets all the time, man. But you know, one thing we don't get into is the whole rapper thing, cause I know where I'm from. I don't know where everybody else from. I know what I do, and I know what I'm into, and I just know what I'm into. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about everybody else's credentials and credibility. So you know what I'm saying? I don't even speak on that. Ain't nobody nicer. Listen, if he claimed king and he claimed best, then I guess you can call me God.
Tell us about this single.
The single, Mr. Me Too. Everybody got one. You know, Mr. Me Too is basically about, you know, sitting back and watching a lot of people, you know, jack the style and jack the swagger, the Clipse, and you know, we've been doing street hip hop, you know, ever since we got in this rap game, and you know, we basically made it cool to just, you know, with all the drug references and using the drug references as like, you know, metaphors and similes and playing on words with that, you know, and now it's like, you know, we watching everybody do it. I remember one time when, you know, people was ridiculing and criticizing us for doing it. Now it's like I'm watching all these multi-platinum rappers who've been out for years never doing it. And now, you know, they all of a sudden kingpins in 06. I just don't understand it.
You have to note that when Malice did an interview with Vlad TV in 2017, he says that Mr. Me Too was never a diss track towards Lil Wayne, but seeing as the timing of the release track and that Vibe magazine cover, it's very hard to believe that it wasn't a diss track, and Pusha T himself has never said that it is or it isn't a diss track either.
Somebody said something about his fashion resembling us. Something that we never said or anything. But I can tell you unequivocally, Mr. Me Too was not about Lil Wayne. At least to my knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
So going back to that Complex interview, Lil Wayne responds to that guy's question and says, I've been rich since I was 14 years old off of selling records. I ain't got no bricks or I'm cooking up for what? Why is you rapping? And if you're cooking up coke, what the fuck are you rapping for? I don't rap about no coke. He ain't talking about me. I don't rap about no coke. I've been rich since I was 14 years old off of selling records. I do not rap about no damn coke. If I say anything about coke, I speak the truth about it. I don't go talking about I got none. I ain't got no bricks or I'm cooking up for what? Why is you rapping then? If you're cooking up coke, what the fuck are you rapping for? So he was basically repeating the same thing over and over, saying basically, if you're a rapper and you're doing, drugs, cooking up coke, that makes no sense. And that's exactly what he says at the end. He says, make some sense out of this shit. Then the interviewer says, I guess because, but then gets cut off by Lil Wayne because he was very frustrated with this question. He said, stop talking about I guess. Stop trying to make sense out of the shit that don't make no sense, dog. Stop trying to make a sense out of shit that don't make no sense. Why are you? Does that make you real for talking about coke, my guy? The interviewer says, nah, I'm not saying it makes you real. Then Lil Wayne says, no, I talk about the money I've made since I was 14 years old. I put out a fucking platinum album and reaped every dollar from it. Holla fucking back. A platinum album makes couple 15 million. Holla at your boy. They got to give me some of that 15 mil. You dig? He said, I feel you. I was 14 when it happened, my guy. He's like, okay. You dig? And then Lil Wayne goes on. And this is where the problems really start. He's like, I did it 4 times again after that just on the charts. I ain't got to talk about no coke nor no fucking vapes. I got my own shoes out, the OG collection Reebok. I got my own jeans out. W to us. I've got my name. The W is going to be on your bitch ass. He said, okay. All right, stop coming at me with that bullshit, man. That's how you get beef started, man. I don't see no fucking Clipse. Come on, man. Wheezy, man. They had to do a song with us to get hot, B. What happened to that boy? Come on, B. Don't do that, dog. This is a fucking legend you're talking to right here. And this is where the disrespect came for the Clipse. Then the interviewer says, well, XXL has that, and then gets cut off again. So at this point, Lil Wayne is just going at the interviewer and then decided to go at the Clipse. He says, I don't see guys like that. You talking to the best. Talk to me like you're talking to the best. I don't see no fucking Clipse. Come on, man. This is Wheezy. They do a song with us to get hot. What happened to that boy? Come on. Don't do that, dog. This is a fucking legend you're talking to right here. 14 years. How many years have those guys been around? He said 2000. He said, who the fuck is Pharrell? Do you really respect him? That guy wore Bapes and y'all thought he was weird. I wore it and y'all thought it was hot. Come on, man. The guy walked around with guys that looked like you. Y'all thought he was crazy. If I did it, y'all gonna think these guys are killers. So after this interview is officially when Pusha T says it started between him and Lil Wayne. But if you guys listened carefully, Lil Wayne also took shots at Pharrell Williams. Now, why did he do that? Well, this is the third reason this beef possibly started, and that was explained thoroughly by Ebro from Hot 97. Ebro says that the beef started a while ago, and it was really behind-the-scenes things that nobody really knew about, and this mainly had to do with Pharrell Williams and the Neptunes and Birdman with Cash Money Records. Apparently, the first time that they worked together was when the Clipse had their track Grindin' and they released a remix version featuring Nori, Baby, and Lil Wayne. Then that same year, Birdman recruited the Neptunes, which Pharrell was a part of, and the Clipse to create his new single called What Happened to That Boy. And after this track dropped, according to Ebro behind the scenes, the Neptunes never really got paid for doing that track. So Pharrell and the Neptunes decided to never work with anyone at Cash Money Records ever again. And this holds up because as time has gone on, you've never seen Pharrell or the Neptunes work with anyone over at Cash Money or Young Money. Drake's never done a track with Pharrell or the Neptunes or anything like that as time has gone on. So what Ebro is saying stands to be true as far as the timeline goes. So in early 2006, when Lil Wayne was shooting the music video for Hustler Music, he decided to reach out to Pharrell and ask him if Pharrell could give him a couple of his own clothing line, which was Billionaire Boys Club. Pharrell denied him that. Instead, Lil Wayne took it upon himself, wore that clothing, wore Bape clothing, and shot the music video regardless. And of course, Pharrell did not like that, so there comes the track Mr. Me Too, which is confirmed based off all these rumors to be a diss track towards Lil Wayne.
The Pusha going at Cash Money, Young Money goes all the way back to 2001, I'm told, with What Happened to That Boy, which was produced by Pharrell, and it had the Clipse on it. But anyway, there was a non-payment at this point. And if you look back, Pharrell never worked with a Cash Money artist after this moment. And so then you fast forward to Lil Wayne co-opting the skateboard stylings, right? Wearing Bape after this moment.
Right.
Wearing Billionaire Boys Club, which is Pharrell's clothing line after this moment. And I'm told behind the scenes, Lil Wayne used to ask for Billionaire Boys Club gear and was told no. And went and wore it in a video anyway, and they was like, yo, we told you basically not to wear our stuff, and it was like an issue.
So Pharrell held on to the fact that he never got paid.
I'm told.
After Lil Wayne aired out the Clipse and Pharrell in that Complex interview, immediately the Clipse responded to that article. They were on a promo run for their new album, Hell Hath No Fury. And while doing this promo run, they stopped by a lot of radio stations, and a Virginia radio station by the name of Hot 102.1 FM decided to ask them about that interview. And this is what the Clipse had to say. Wayne, you're sort of copying the Clipse right now. I think he made a bad judgment call. Maybe he's got an album coming out. This is a small thing to a giant. He's just acting out. If anything, I am upset about him using the F word before my name, being as though he likes to sit around and kiss men. If you're going to kiss men, you can't even use them words in conjunction with the Clipse, Pharrell, or any of the family. He's definitely acting out right now. Jay-Z, do what you got to do, but involve the Clipse, you don't want to do that. I already don't look at him like a G. He ain't nothing like me. This response was in the tail end of 2006 in December.
All right, I don't see no effing Clipse. This is an effing legend you're talking to right here. How many years them this been around? Who the F is Pharrell? Do you really respect him? That nigga wore Bape and y'all thought he was weird. I wore it, y'all thought it was hot.
Listen, I got a riddle for the whole 7 cities.
Uh-oh.
And whoever can answer this, I'll put on my album. Okay? What do you call a man who kisses another man? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Anyone want to take a stab at it? Let me know. Anyone? Anyone?
Rick G said he got it.
What is it, Rick G's?
I'm not gonna say the word. I know it starts with an F and ends with a T.
No, okay. You call that man a f, okay? That's what you call him. You call that man a f, okay? You agree with me, Mike Lord? That's what you call him. And we all seen The Sopranos. Even mobsters kiss on the cheek. Okay?
Yeah, right. They kiss
Even
on the
mobsters
cheek.
kiss on the cheek. You can't say nothing about the Clipse because you talking about Virginia. You can't even say nothing about Pharrell because if you talk about Pharrell, you talking about Virginia. And Pharrell is definitely a staple of Virginia, so you cannot do that.
He backpedals all the way and say, I don't want no beef. I don't want no problems. Beef is something serious where I'm from, and I don't want that. And if that's the case, and he doesn't want that, he might want to shut his fucking mouth. Because Lil Wayne ain't aggressive enough to mention myself, my brother, or any parts of this re-up gang regime in an interview where he's talking about beef, drama, killing. He did mention killing. Like how he handles beef and he will kill. And we don't believe that shit, and we know that you the fans, our fans, y'all don't believe that shit either. I mean, let's be honest. First time he touched a gun, he shot his goddamn self. Then when he just got caught with a gun in New York City, he ain't had no bullets in it. So we already know he not good with guns.
Then a couple months later, in July 2007, the Clipse carried on their beef with Lil Wayne by dissing him in an interview with Laced magazine. Laced asked, how do you feel about Lil Wayne saying he is the greatest rapper alive? No Malice says, if you wobble-dee, you can't be a legend. Pusha T says, you can't kiss other men, you can't wobble-dee, and you can't bite styles. You can't bite everybody's style. You can't try to rap like Jay-Z, dress like the Clipse, become a coke dealer after 5 albums, and now dress like Jim Jones. You can't do all that and be a legend. You have to be a trendsetter, and he ain't setting any trends. Lace then asks, just a few years ago, you're doing What Happened to That Boy with Baby. Now today, Lil Wayne isn't saying complimentary things about you. Where do you think this animosity is stemming from? Pusha T says, yeah, Gilly wrote Baby's part, by the way. When he was a legend, Gilly wrote Baby's part. I would have thought he'd go to the legend to get it written. He should have went to the legend to get it written, but he goes to Gilly the Kid instead, laughs. And what he's saying here is that, when Birdman needed his verse written, he instead enlisted Gilly the Kid and not his own artist, Lil Wayne, who said at the time was the greatest rapper alive. So he's taking shots at him there. Then No Malice says, I think he's pretty much trying to save face because you and I know what it is. The streets said that. It wasn't us that said it. The streets did all of that talking. Pusha T then continues and says, the streets said he was biting the Clipse. Clipse never said he was biting us because it didn't really matter to us. It didn't really matter to us. We have real issues like Wheezy fucking Baby. Shakes head. Come on, man. Lil Wayne didn't respond to any of these disses in the interviews that they were doing. He seemingly ignored them. But on February 5th, 2008, the Clipse dropped a new mixtape called We Got It For Cheap Volume 3. And on the Re-Up Gang intro, Pusha T officially puts this battle on wax by dissing him in his verse.
Sorry, but I don't respect who you applauding. Little nigga flow, but his metaphor's boring. Don't make me turn daddy's little girl to orphan. That would mean I'd have to kill baby like abortion.
Fast forward to May 2010, and the Clipse team up with Young Jeezy for a new track called Illin. And around this time, Jay-Z publicly said that he would pass the crown to Lil Wayne. And Pusha T ended up on this track spitting some subliminal bars going at Wheezy.
Tell Hova don't pass the crown so soon. Unless he got a crown for every writer in the room.
After this, though, things would have died down between the Clipse and Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was facing his own personal issues with having to go to jail for a whole year. And the Clipse were facing their own personal issues because their former manager ended up getting 32 years for leading a drug ring that was worth $20 million. So while they were facing label issues and their former manager getting 32 years in prison, Lil Wayne was facing his prison thing, so both were having a lot of legal problems. And then eventually Clipse broke up as a group because Pusha T's brother said he quits rap and he doesn't like, the drug talk and all the violent talk he had in his music. So he changed his name from Malice to No Malice and went and found Jesus, while Pusha T continued his solo career and eventually ended up signing to Kanye West's Good Music. In 2011, Lil Wayne ended up serving his 1-year sentence in jail, and the first person to congratulate him for being free was actually Pusha T, and at this point it was surprising to everybody because everyone knew they had beef, but apparently to Pusha T, it was over with. Pusha T ended up dropping a new track called Open Your Eyes, which was featured on his debut solo mixtape, Fear of God. And towards the end of this track, he ended up congratulating Wheezy on getting out.
Yeah, they done free Weezy. Congratulations, my nigga.
And in March of 2011, Complex got an interview with Pusha T, and they asked him why did he congratulate Wayne on getting out when everyone thought they had beef, and this is what he had to say. Ever since Lil Wayne went into jail, the whole little stint between me and him is really dead and over with. I don't have any ill will towards Wayne, Cash Money, or any of them. There was definitely a time period when I felt a certain way about him, but as of right now, I don't. That's just where I once was. I don't even like speaking on it. On Fear of God, I actually said they had freed Wheezy, congratulations. When I seen Wayne in Miami, I told him congratulations on getting out of jail. This kid named Brennan, who's a mutual friend of mine and Wayne's, he helps me with styling at times. We hang out a lot and I seen him in Miami and he was actually with Wayne and them. So I was like, yo, what's up? And he came and hollered at me. I told him to get Wayne. And once he did, I was like, yo, what's up? I seen Wayne at the Miami nightclub Live. This was around last November. We were so far from each other. I was saluting him, Mac Main, and all of them. And it was like, I see y'all. It's all good and congratulations. It wasn't even like we spoke on anything. I just saluted him. I shouted all of them out because I was fucking with the mic. We never spoke on that past situation. But that shit is like wild old and ain't nothing to speak on. I was just speaking in support of the situation that he made it out of. You have to acknowledge things like that coming from where I'm from. I'm going to acknowledge that. I got real problems and real issues. I looked at him like this man has got real problems and real issues too. This man really went to jail, so it's way bigger than some rap shit. That's all it was ever to me, some rap shit. Even when the little jabs were going back and forth, it was never nothing personal like I hate your guts. It was on wax and who can be the cleverest. It was something I would never have talked about even in interviews. I think the whole interview thing is what makes it different. Things are different in interviews versus in songs. After this, you would assume the beef between Pusha T and Lil Wayne was officially over. But what ended up happening was the beef ended up getting transferred to Drake, and Drake started taking subliminal shots at Pusha T. But I'm not going to get into that because I'm going to leave that for part 2. Birdman, however, had something to say about good music when he did an interview with Complex in March of 2012. Complex ended up asking Birdman what label does he think is doing good in the year of 2012. He mentioned DJ Khaled's We The Best and Rick Ross's Maybach music, but what he didn't mention was Kanye West's good music. So they asked him, what about good music? This is what Birdman said. They're doing what they're doing too, but I think Khaled and Rose are doing a little bit more. They're a little bit more active with their acts. I ain't talking about them as a brand, but their acts. You got Kanye doing him, but what acts do they have that are active and doing a lot? I'm looking at how much your team is doing. And since Pusha T was very active on the label, as well as Big Sean and others, Pusha T took what Birdman said very personal. On May 24th, 2012, Pusha T dropped a new track called Exodus 23:1, which is a Bible verse that says, "You shall not spread a false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness," which is very creative considering what the track is. This track ended up taking aim at Lil Wayne, Drake, and Birdman.
Contract all fucked up. I guess that means you all fucked up. You signed to one nigga, that signed to another nigga, that signed to 3 niggas. Now that's bad luck.
And of course, this track exploded all over social media. Lil Wayne took wind of it and decided to get on Twitter to respond to the track and said, "Fuck Pusha T and anybody that love him." Then the next day, Lil Wayne drops a new diss track called Ghoulish, taking aim at Pusha T. This would be the first time officially that Lil Wayne dissed Pusha T on wax.
Fuck Pusha T and anybody that love him. His head up his ass, I'ma have to headbutt him. Brrr, what happened to that bar? He was talking shit, we put a clap into that bar.
Following this, in the next month of June 2012, Pusha T went up to Funk Master Flex's show on Hot 97 and said that Lil Wayne's diss track Ghoulish was trash.
What was your opinion of Wayne's response?
It was horrible. It was horrible. It was trash. It wasn't great.
Then in the next month of July 2012, Lil Wayne sat down with the Associated Press and they asked him this: what's next musically and what happened in the beef between you and Pusha T? Lil Wayne responded saying, "I just finished recording my I Am Not a Human Being 2 album, and we're starting to work on the Young Money album. It really wasn't no beef, you know. It was just me. I just reacted. Just a reaction, a simple reaction. I don't apologize for it because I'm human, but it was just my human reaction. I don't take it back, but there's no beef. Beef is a whole different thing. I'll move on." And what he's talking about when it comes to his reaction is the Ghoulish diss track. However, Pusha T didn't care about what Lil Wayne has to say, and Good Music decided to drop a new track called New God Flow on July 3rd, 2012. And Pusha T decides to send some shots at Birdman, Lil Wayne, and Drake on his verse.
Step on they necks till they can't breathe. Claim they 5 stars but sell you dreams.
And of course, Pusha T didn't stop there. Alley Boy dropped a new track called Your Favorite Rapper, and it was released on September 18th, 2012, and it featured Pusha T, and Pusha T confirmed he was going at Lil Wayne on his verse.
Yeah, your favorite rapper's a damn lie. You can double check this record that I stand by. How real is he if he been paying for his blood ties? He blood in, he blood out at a blood drive. And who is you to ever question who's a real nigga? You never been, you never was, you never will, nigga.
Then in December of 2012, Ludacris dropped a new track called Tell Me What They Mad For. It featured Pusha T, and Pusha T was sending diss shots towards Lil Wayne once again.
Niggas saying you was better when the drugs was in your system. Now your crack swag gone ever since you came from prison.
Following this, on September 1st, 2013, Lil Wayne dropped his new mixtape Dedication 5, and immediately after it dropped, Pusha T took to Twitter and said, "I think it's safe to say you really lost it," which everyone made the connection, and obviously that tweet was meant for Lil Wayne, and this would be the last really official time Pusha T focused his energy on Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne wasn't really responding to him anymore, and it sort of had shifted to Drake versus Pusha T. Pusha T, however, explained though in an interview with DJ Envy that, you know, he's going to continue going at Wayne and Drake and all of them, regardless if they respond or not, because fans would see it as him quitting due to him having a smaller fan base.
You're like a mosquito to Lil Wayne, man.
What?
Like you just stay on his neck.
Nah, man. What you mean?
I mean, you said something the other day. I guess he released a mixtape, and I guess you said on your Twitter something to the effect of trash. That's basically what you said. And then all of a sudden, people thought
just
you
blank it like that too. I ain't say nothing else.
No.
Just trash.
You just said like trash.
It's trash.
And people assumed you were talking about Lil Wayne's mixtape.
Right.
Right.
You know, this is how it is for real with me. I'm just having fun.
Mhm.
I'm really just having fun with it. The thing is though, like these guys got so many fans
Mhm.
that, you know what I'm saying, when you make blanket statements like, you know, F Pusha T on Twitter and all that type of stuff, like you can't just let things like that go because they got so many fans that by the time, you know, it gets quiet, everybody gonna start looking at you like, man, he just, you know, he just gets over on you and so on and so forth.
Right.
So it's like, I just play with it. I just toy with it. You know, totally just toy with it and have my fun with it. And then like he's sort of, you know, rapping bad. So like that doesn't help much. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like good, he's bad. So you just gotta like just keep shooting.
Right.
Now, as time went on, Pusha T ended up becoming right, because in the year 2015, Lil Wayne would end up suing Birdman for $51 million for being underpaid and for not allowing him to release his own music. Lil Wayne went on Twitter and went on a rant about wanting out of Cash Money Records, and of course, Pusha T took wind of that and immediately responded to Lil Wayne himself. He said, "If you want to drop albums and don't want your CEOs rubbing their hands all in your videos, come to good music, Suge Knight voice." And Pusha T extended this by taking more shots at Lil Wayne on a track called Untouchable, which he released in November of 2015. He said in his verse that Lil Wayne was renting all his cars and Birdman owned them all.
And rap niggas broke like them, they mere hopeful. Still wishing on a star, the last one to find out the baby on the cars.
Now, as the years went on, it all shifted towards Pusha T versus Drake, but Rick Ross tried to get into this whole beef and end it. In August of 2019, Rick Ross was gearing up to drop his new album, Port of Miami 2, and he revealed that on the track Maybach Music 6, he tried to get Lil Wayne and Pusha T on the same track to hopefully end their beef. However, when the album came out on August 9th, 2019, when you saw the features, it was only Lil Wayne on the track and no Pusha T. Both artists cleared their verses though, so Rick Ross was given the A-OK to release the track with both artists on there. However, of course, Lil Wayne's version only came out, but Pusha T's verse ended up leaking online. And honestly, when you listen to it, it sounds like more subliminal shots at Drake and Lil Wayne. So it was smart on Rick Ross's part to not release this track with both artists on the track.
What I did was I had an idea of putting a record together, sent it to Wayne, got it back, sent it to Pusha. Hadn't had that discussion because at the time I didn't really feel we would get anything positive off the rip. I felt like let's put the record together and create the conversation. I played the record for a few people, 2 weeks outside of the album being released, where if it's real pressure, I could get that call and I fix it. I know how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? But both of the homies cleared the record, so it wasn't about personal agendas. And that's what I respect the most about both parties. Now, it really just boiled down to, was this going to help launch the big picture? And if it wasn't, I don't have no problem holding it back.
Pusha T, of course, didn't like being removed from the track, so he called in on the Joe Budden podcast and voiced his frustrations.
Why are you doing these to features?
Nah, man. Listen, man. We, that's what we in it for, man. We here to rap, bro. We here to rap, bro. Like, that's what I'm here for. Anyway, like,
No, man.
like
no.
we can't. No, man. No. Like, no.
But
no,
we
no.
already know
Like,
that you can rap.
We no, but we all have to do what we do best. Like, I have to do what I do best. The next guy got to do what he does best. Like, come on.
But
It's
when
lanes for
When
everybody.
you do what you do best, then we're not allowed on the album no more.
Listen. It's part of the game. I can't complain, right? I mean, at this stage of my career, hey, man.
Then a couple months later, on February 2020, Lil Wayne appeared on the Drink Champs podcast, and Nori asked him about having Pusha T removed off the Maybach Music 6-track with Rick Ross, and Lil Wayne says he has no idea what happened. He had no idea that Pusha T was even on the track in the first place.
There's a record that came out with Rick Ross recently, right? Yeah. And Rick Ross supposedly put you and Pusha on the record. When the record comes out, the record is just you on there and there's no Pusha T. So I don't know what the rumor is, but in the industry, we always notice a clearance issue, maybe on this part. Obviously, you cleared your part.
As always.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think that it was on their side?
I don't even know nothing about it. I heard about that once. Right. So that was random news to me because it was his joint. So I wouldn't know who he had on it anyway, or who he was supposed to have on it.
You don't never ask those questions?
Oh, no.
Damn.
And that is it when it comes to the Pusha T and Lil Wayne part of the beef. So far, Pusha T hasn't really said anything more when it comes to Lil Wayne. He's moved his attention towards Drake, and Lil Wayne has never really said much of anything when this whole thing was happening in the first place. Now that the facts and details of the beef and the major points are out the way, let's go into my opinion side of things, where I talk about who won the battle portion and who won the war portion. In terms of the battle, I think it's clear as day to anyone that paid attention to this beef that Pusha T won by like a long shot. I mean, it's not even close. Everything that Lil Wayne did kind of backfired on him, and Pusha T got him exactly where he wanted him and predicted literally everything that was going to happen to Lil Wayne before Lil Wayne himself knew it. The first problem with this is that Lil Wayne never really owned up to this battle and just kind of, ignored Pusha T and everything. He didn't respond to him when it comes to the diss tracks. He kind of just focused on himself. In the 2006 Complex interview where this whole battle started, and Lil Wayne knows that's where it started, even though he acts like that's not where it started, that's officially where it started. It's clear that Lil Wayne was taking shots at Pharrell and the Clipse and blatantly said their names in that interview. And then Lil Wayne said he's the best rapper alive, so why would he compete with any of these rappers? If you feel like you're the best rapper alive, as an MC, you have to prove that lyrically you're better than the rapper challenging you. And Lil Wayne failed to do that and actually kind of swayed away from it and ignored it and let his own artist, which would end up being Drake, take care of it. And that nobody can really respect. If you're claiming you're the best rapper alive, you have to defend that title if someone is challenging you. Now, you could say Lil Wayne is too big, that's why he didn't respond. Well, if that was the case, then why did he say something in the first place? In that Complex interview, he started this all by mentioning their names. He should have just ignored the question or just said something more positive. In terms of diss tracks, man, the Pusha T Exodus track to me is one of the greatest diss tracks of all time. Pusha T's delivery, the production, the dream on the hook, he just killed it too. The music video, the lyrics, the content was proven to be true. As time went on, obviously Lil Wayne started having issues with Birdman, and Pusha T predicted it all. When Pusha T initially came out with the diss track, people were upset at him about it, but as time went on, people were like, damn, Pusha T was right. So to predict someone's future in their situation and have those bars hit harder as time goes on, it was just beautiful, man. It's something that is rarely done when it comes to diss tracks. And of course, you have to have that line that kind of stands out when it comes to diss tracks. This I mentioned in the Dr. Dre versus Eazy-E video, those one-line hitters that everybody knows. And there was a few of those, but the main line that stands out was the line where he says, you're signed to one guy that's signed to another guy that's signed to three guys, and that's fucked up. and everyone kind of went and like, oh, was like, damn, that's crazy that he says that. And as time went on, it was proven to be true that that contract is a messed up contract. Then we could talk about Lil Wayne's horrible response track, Ghoulish. I mean, it was so bad that when it was released on Twitter, there was a hashtag that was trending called "Things Better Than Lil Wayne's Pusha T Diss." Literally, there were people clowning Lil Wayne and saying this is one of the worst diss tracks of all time. And it made Lil Wayne backpedal when he got interviewed with the AP, like I said earlier in the video. He said that, you know, he just did it out of a quick response, you know, kind of saying that, oh, it wasn't like an actual diss track. It was just me responding quickly. Like, it just looks so bad for Lil Wayne, for somebody that was considered one of the best rappers alive, and that's the title he gave himself, that people in 2008, 2006, 2007 were like giving him the title too. All this backfired on him. It made him look very weak as a rapper. And to be honest with you, Lil Wayne really hasn't gone bar for bar with people, with any rapper that's called him out ever. So it makes me question, how good is Lil Wayne when it comes to battles? Yeah, he can spit his ass off, and that's been proven over and over again, but going toe-to-toe against other rappers, I haven't really seen it from him much, and it's usually backfired when it's happened. So considering Pusha T spanked the best rapper alive, what does that make Pusha T then? Think about that. Now I want to talk about the war portion, which is after the battle has settled down, who is still doing well, who is still thriving when it comes to music business, all the other stuff, and their influence and all that. And I thought about this quite some time, actually, and I slightly give it to Lil Wayne, and here's the reason why. If we're talking strictly music, to me, and this is my opinion once again, Pusha T's music has gotten a lot better as time has gone on. So if we're talking just music, Pusha T wins this. But I'm not just going to talk strictly on music, because Lil Wayne's music over time, to me personally, has gotten worse. It hasn't gotten better. Lil Wayne hit his peak in like 2005 to 2009 and then slowly started declining in terms of quality of music. But Pusha T, once he became a solo artist, he just got better and better and better, and it's been proven when it comes to his albums. But this is the main reason why I give Lil Wayne the war portion, because Lil Wayne, with his insane run at the top, when he was having that run, he influenced a whole new generation of rappers. I mean, most of the rappers, if you ask them now, they will say they were influenced by Lil Wayne. They will not say they were influenced by Pusha T. And that's nothing to take away from Pusha T, but Pusha T's audience and his size, his peak, was never as big as Lil Wayne's. I mean, Lil Wayne was selling 1 million copies in 1 week at one point, and Pusha T never reached that level. And that's nothing to take away from Pusha T, because Pusha T, to me, is one of the best lyrical rappers I've ever heard. Even if it's on one topic, he still is one of the best that I've ever heard. But because of that influence, if we're looking 30, 40, 50 years, 100 years down the line, you know, people are going to look at Lil Wayne and be like, damn, he influenced this whole generation of rappers. And if it wasn't for him, who knows if we would have had those rappers. So that's why I slightly give it to Lil Wayne when it comes to the war portion. That huge influence is going to last for generations. And unfortunately, Pusha T isn't going to get that credit that he deserves. Although, you know, with this battle with Lil Wayne and then with this battle with Drake, it can, you know, down the line, I'm sure, influence future rappers. I don't know. I can't see into the future. But as of right now, Lil Wayne has the bigger influence, and that's why I give him the war portion. And that's it for this episode of Who Really Won. This is part 1 of 2. Stay tuned for part 2, which is going to be Drake versus Pusha T, where I highlight everything that happened with Drake and Pusha T. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a comment below with your thoughts. Who won the battle portion? Who won the war portion? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why? So on and so forth. Leave a comment below. Also, help me get to 10,000 followers on Twitter. Like I said, once I reach that, I'll drop the 2 new episodes of Who Really Won. I'd really appreciate it. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $1 a month or more, you can help support this channel further. A link is in the description below. Like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe. I do videos like this daily on hip-hop news and much more, so definitely subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at QuakeGW. Like us on Facebook, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.